Hi friends, welcome to my tutorial on Bootstrap. In this session, we will look at containers. Containers are the most basic layout element in Bootstrap and they are required when we are using their default grid system. Grid system means the whole layout is containing row elements and row elements will be containers of columns. So we'll be laying out and aligning the content. The container class is used to set the content's margins, dealing with the responsive behaviors of your layout. Containers are used to contain, pad, and sometimes even center the content within them. We're going to see how this is done in code after this presentation. Bootstrap comes with 3 different containers. So as with all other concepts in Bootstrap, we'll be using their CSS classes. So to have a container element, we will have a div tag and the class name will be either container, container-fluid or container-breakpoint. Breakpoint can be 4 different types. They will be either SM, which stands for small, MD, which stands for medium, LG, which stands for large, and XL, which stands for extra large. Now, what does each of these classes mean? Let's start with container fluid because that's the easiest of them. In container fluid, the width of that division of the div tag will be 100%. So it is a full width container and it spans the entire width of the viewport. Next, we look at the container class. For a container class, at each responsive breakpoint, there will be a max width that will be set for the div tag. Now we are going to look at responsive breakpoint because that's going to be important for both the container class as well as container-breakpoint class. So let me first explain to you what we mean by this responsive breakpoints. This is a table that illustrates and compares the container breakpoints. Okay. Now what does this mean? Here we are given extra small, small, medium, large and extra large. This is the width of the viewport. So first we are going to look at the container fluid. That's the most simple and obvious of all these classes. So for all the types of screens, the container fluid, you can see that it is 100% width. Let's look at container class. Container class is an all-in-one class. For extra small widths, that is, when the viewport width is less than 576 pixels, the container class div section will have a 100% width. When it crosses that breakpoint of 576 pixel, between 576 and 768 pixel, the width of this div tag, which has the container class, will be a fixed width of 540 pixels. The next responsive breakpoint will be here, where the width of the viewport is greater than 768 pixels. At this breakpoint, then the width of the class changes to 720. So it means between these two breakpoints, the container class will have a fixed width of 720 pixels. So this is how it progresses. So this may be a little confusing. So just to explain that, I will go directly into the code now. And then we will, from the code itself, try to explain all the other container class elements. So this is the code. First, I have included the required files for Bootstrap to work, as I've showed about this in the first video. In the body section, I've added two div classes. One is class container and another is container fluid. And I've also included all the responsive containers. In these two classes, I've added a heading, h1 and a paragraph. Okay. So in these classes, in these div sections, I've just included some text. Now I've added some style here. I've added a border and I've added a color to it. I've just put a padding of 50 pixel just to show that we can pad and also align the content if required. I've added a border so that it's very easy for us to understand about the width. So I'm going to show how this works. So this is how it looks. So look at the first section. This is the div section which contains the container class, and the second one is that which contains the container fluid. As you can see from the borders, the container fluid is occupying the entire width, whereas the container class has a fixed width here. Now it is easier to explain the other features using when I resize the window. So I'm going to have this presentation table where we explained about the max width. So I'm going to show that and compare that with our actual window. Okay. So look at this. In this first part, container fluid, as you can see, it's going to be 100% width in all these sizes. Okay. That is the one with the green border. And the first border, the first section, the first div tag has the container class. So at the first breakpoint, till the first breakpoint, it's going to be 100%. When we cross this breakpoint, you can see what happens. So I'm going to slowly resize it. Do you see this? Now it has crossed the first breakpoint. So here, still, the container fluid class is having 100% width, whereas this container class and the container SM has now changed to a fixed width of 540 pixel. So this is now having a width of 540 pixel. Same here. Okay. Till even now, container MD, LG and XL have 100% width. Okay. I'm going to move further. Now we have reached the second breakpoint. So in this second breakpoint, container fluid is still the same, but now the MD and the container both have changed to fixed width of 720 pixel. I'm moving further. Now we have reached the third breakpoint. See here, for LG and the container. Now they have changed to a fixed width of 960 pixels. And the final breakpoint is now these all container and all the other responsive containers, they have a fixed width of 1140 pixels. So I hope that's clear. So this is the difference between the different container classes that Bootstrap provides us. Hope this information is helpful. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.